One of the days that you look forward to all year long. The Philadelphia Catholic League Boys Basketball Championship at the Cathedral of College Basketball, the Palestra. It's Father Judge, the 4-seed, against the 34-time Catholic League champ, the Roman Catholic Caelites. They are back, dapper in all purple, end to end here at the Palestra, ready to cheer their team on to victory. What a night. What an opportunity. What a Sunday to be joining you. Hi, everybody. Bob Long, Aaron Hart with us here, a former official in the Philadelphia Catholic League and now a collegiate official, and Huck Palmer, Mr. Philadelphia Catholic League, does the statistics, watches every minute of every game. Who better to join us here this afternoon for the Penn Sports Network? It's Father Judge. It is Roman Catholic. And let's start with the Father Judge Crusaders, Aaron Hart. Kavar Kennedy really jumps off the page.
Yeah, Bob, when we saw them in this first matchup, it was the third quarter. Their team was down. They were up, backs against the wall. He pulled them together out of a timeout. He kept them in the game along with Barnes, and they brought them back and got a signature win, and now they're here at the Palestra.
They have earned their opportunity into the state playoff, but really none of that seems to matter on a day like today. Looking to find their way with that hubcap in their hands and the nylon at the end of the afternoon. Let's look at the starting lineups for the Father Judge Crusaders. Rocco Westfield, unlimited range. He has been terrific in recent weeks. Kavar Kennedy, that big-time point guard, pure point guard, and maybe the key in this one, Everett Barnes, the big man that will take on the opposing big for Roman Catholic, a guy who feels like he's been on the sidelines at Broad and Vine forever, Sharif Jackson, and everything that he brings to the table. Big, wide body, Lafayette commit, and looking for yet another hubcap. It would be the third consecutive for Roman Catholic. Huck Palmer, your thoughts on Sharif and why he is a key to this matchup this afternoon?
Well, everything goes through Sharif for the Caelites. He's had a tremendous career, 1,200 points, about 940 rebounds, can really pass it out of the post. He anchors their defense, and it trickles down to everybody else. And one number to look at today is when Roman scores 52 or more, they were 18-0 this season. Against Father Judge in the opener, they lost 55-51. They didn't get to that 52 mark. So it'll be interesting with contrasting styles here today, how things go.
Let's look at the starting lineups for Roman Catholic. Of course, Sharif Jackson is the linchpin, but I think about Sammy Jackson and Tyler Sutton. Sammy Jackson, a long wing-type player, can really knock it down from beyond the arc, but maybe at his best when he's slashing off the ball to the basket. Tyler Sutton is one of the great sophomores in the country, and his on-ball defense, I think, will be a major key this afternoon as well. Playing in himself within the nature of that ecosystem, I think that's a big key for Roman Catholic here this afternoon. What a night, what an opportunity. The greatest venue in college basketball welcomes the high school ranks just a couple of times a year, and this is the pinnacle of high school basketball in Philadelphia and beyond. Thrilled that you're with us here. We're going to turn it over to Dan Hoban, public address announcer. We'll introduce those starters, and tip-off is next here on the Penn Sports Network. Our public address announcer today is Dan Hoban. He has been doing this for many, many years, decades upon decades. He looks forward to it every year and does a terrific job. There's not a seat to be found in the house. We've been sold out since Thursday at 1, 15 hours after the semifinal games concluded here from the Palestra, and it all builds to this moment right now between these two teams. Here's Dan Hoban.
Please direct your attention to the video board for an important message from Box, presenting sponsor of the 2025 PCL Championship.
As they regale us with some videos here on the big screen. A time to remind us here, Aaron, of what these players play for, when these seasons start, and the gritty effort it takes to get to this moment.
Yeah, it takes a lot to climb the mountaintop. They go through tough schedule all year long. They face everyone, home and away. Doesn't matter, you got to win, and then it's win or go home once you get to the postseason.
Huck Palmer, it feels like when you look up at this light blue in the stands that all the Northeast has found a way into the building this afternoon.
Absolutely, Bob. They're really excited for this moment. They've been waiting a long time to get back here. It will be their 4th championship they can secure today, but they haven't been back since 1998, and they got all the pieces to get it done today.
27 years, and we'll talk about that number when it comes to Father Judge. 27. There were 27 alums of Father Judge that lost their lives in the Vietnam War, and it is something that the school maintains very close to their heart, close to their mission. Best player on many of the teams will wear the number 27. Of course, you can't go above number 5 in basketball, but it's a number close to this program's heart. And so, yes, no surprise that it's been 27 years since they last got here in 1998. Here's Jim Williams with the prayer.
Charlie Greenberg, the Father Judge, who served as teacher, basketball coach, and school administrator, and Tom McKenna, assistant coach at Roman Catholic and a friend to many in the Philadelphia Catholic League basketball community. And please let us all continue to pray for Pope Francis, who is seriously ill. You are, repeat that what? Let us bow down and pray for God's blessing. Dear God, we thank you for this opportunity you have given us this afternoon. Please bless these teams with continued passion and respect for the wonderful sport as they try their hardest to be the best. And may today, as the teams play in this great cathedral of basketball, the Palestra, may they be appreciative for the chance to shine as they inspire others with their efforts and the pride they have in their school. Bless each one of us, especially the coaches, the officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us to be aware of his presence always. We ask this through Christ our Lord. St. Francis de Sales.
Please remain standing as we heard the playing of our national anthem.
Maybe just a little bit of energy in the building here this afternoon, and can you blame them? Father Judge has waited a long time for this. There are students in that student section that were not born the last time they were in this game. Actually, every single one of them. And a lot of alums that are 10 years out of school. Unbelievable opportunity for Father Judge. How about Roman Catholic on the other side? Their students were here each of the past 2 years. They've won each of the last 2 years. They've won 34 titles in their program's history. Two rivals, longtime Philadelphia Catholic League members. They played a classic earlier this year. We expect a classic here tonight. Everett Barnes introduced first. He's headed to Loyola to play his basketball next year. Derek Morton Rivera, a spectacularly talented wing that can let it go from anywhere. Rocco Westfield, his length just seems to grow and grow. From a three-point prowess standpoint, he hit 6 triples in the semifinal. Nazir Tyler, a sophomore, very, very talented, big, strong, can knock it down. And this is the guy that everybody dressed in light blue, Kevar Kennedy, thought should have won the MVP this year. Jordan Ellerby, very, very deserving. But Kevar Kennedy, a triple-double in Wednesday's semifinal, going head-to-head against Jordan Ellerby and St. Joe's Prep. Roman Catholic will wear white here tonight. That's Sammy Jackson, one of 2 sons of Philadelphia basketball great Mark Jackson. That's C.J. Miller, provides length, can knock down an occasional three-point shot. Big in the rebounding, big on the defensive side of the basketball. Tyler Sutton, maybe the best on-ball defensive guard in the Catholic League, just a sophomore. Sebastian Edwards, when he gets it going from beyond the arc, Roman is a different basketball team. And finally, the Lafayette commit, the man that just seems to not leave the Catholic League and leave ruin in his path, Sharif Jackson. How good has he been for 4 years? The stage is set. The seats are filled. The officials here this afternoon, Derek Grubowski, Stephen Ockenhouse, and Gordon Bentley. George Pavlou is the alternate here this afternoon. The images just speak for themselves.
Bob,
This
I
is
feel
the
like
best.
I say this every year, but it's really electric in here. The energy is off the charts. Let's get ready to rock.
This is the best that high school basketball has to offer in Pennsylvania, and dare I say countrywide. 9,000 to the brim, Division I prospects all over the floor, 2 terrific coaches, 2 proud programs, but only one winner, and we'll find out in 32 short minutes. Aaron Hart, Huck Palmer, Bob Long here for the Penn Sports Network and the Philadelphia Catholic League Boys Championship. Sharif Jackson is a very adept passer out of the post. Lost the basketball though. And a held ball will give it to Father Judge.
Hey, Bob, in the first meeting, Sharif, had a solid game, but he only got 4 field goal attempts off. He was 2 for 4, 6 points. The field goal attempts were definitely a season low.
And you saw Father Judge collapse the defense there. If not a jump ball, 3 seconds might have been the equation as well.
Well, he's making an attempt to get the ball up there, so the 3 seconds will be suspended while he's trying to get the ball up to the rim.
Derek Morton Rivera has a lightning quick trigger. Good hands there by Sebastian Edwards.
That's what Roman does. The other night against Devon Prep, he had 28 deflections. I think the combined blocks and steals were 19. They're the best defensive team in the league.
And it feels like you can say that every year. Sharif Jackson's got a steal. That one's blocked. Sammy Jackson is blocked. Welcome to the party, Everett Barnes. Tough shot. And Everett Barnes grabs that rebound. What a steal by by Tyler Sutton. That one's blocked by Barnes too. Martin Rivera.
I like the pace so far, and the defense has been off the charts.
Edwards, not that time.
Both teams are just fighting for every inch here. You're not giving up anything easily.
Kavar Kennedy waits behind that ball screen.
Roman in a man-to-man. They start off with Sammy Jackson on Kavar. A lot of length there.
Tyler got to a good spot, couldn't hit it. Good defense again. Guess who? Tyler Sutton, really good on the ball. Miller for three. Didn't draw any iron. The Northeast crowd will love that. Everett Barnes making an immediate impact. Great call there. That was not on the way down. Neither was that one. 3 blocks to the tally in the first 2 minutes of action. Last year, this game was tied at 40 going into overtime. People wondered, is this an offense issue? No, it's not an offense issue. You are looking at some of the best athletes in the multi-state area around here.
The judge is going to want to get the game into the 60s. I think they'll feel comfortable if they can reach 60.
They've scored 90 each of the first 2 playoff games.
The 89 points they scored in the semifinals tied a semifinal record with Newman Goretti from 2016.
Tyler Sutton, transfer from the George School. Sammy Jackson, a deep 3. Still yet to get the cap off the rim. Kavar Kennedy lost the basketball. Sutton got the steal. Sammy Jackson through the lane. Nothing's going to go down. Can you believe this?
I remember, Bob, the first time they played, it was a lower scoring affair. Judge did find a way to win, but this definitely plays into Roman's hands with the pace of play.
Sharif Jackson put that one through. Love that interior screen there to take Barnes out of the play momentarily. Allowed Sharif Jackson to get the ball up on the rim. Sharif Jackson this time with the block.
Like Aaron said earlier, they're fighting for every inch out there. Everything's contested.
Well, this one is contested. What a look from our baseline. That's not even off his hands. They say at times that Sharif Jackson isn't an above-the-rim player. Well, that may be, but his shot-blocking prowess still has been evident over his 4 years in the Philadelphia Catholic League.
Yeah, Huck, if altered shots were a statistic, probably leads the league.
Absolutely. Let's not add any more work that I already have, though.
Everett Barnes, and Roman will take that all day long. Everett Barnes has taken a 3-point shot and now a mid-range shot. That's just not his game. Sammy Jackson is on the board.
That's a good sign. I know he missed one earlier, but he had a good look and then to come back and get another one there. He's been struggling a little bit.
It's just terrific defense by Roman Catholic. Not that time. C.J. Miller with the length. He's in trouble. He goes down, and it's a held ball with the alternate possession, keeping it here. Aaron Hart, our resident official, as he goes down to the floor, is there deemed a joint possession there, and that's why it's not a travel?
Simultaneous possession equals the held ball. He goes to the floor with only him having possession, and he'd lose his pivot foot and be a travel, but great call there on the baseline.
Tyler Sutton, 8-0 Roman Catholic. Well, when we were thinking about this game, we deemed it the microwave versus the blender. Father Judge is the microwave. They can get hot quick. But Roman Catholic's defense turns you into something that you're not. And that's what's happening right now.
Chris Rowntree opted not to call a timeout here.
Sammy Jackson with a hand in the passing lane.
Roman's defense has been suffocating, and Sutton is really at the forefront of that. Kevin Beck is checking in here for Everett Barnes.
Deflection, steals, and then Roman off of those steals can get the ball down and get uncontested layups at times.
Kick out, Beck. A little cold coming into the game. Tough to hit that first one in front of 9,000. Sammy Jackson just toying with the defense here. Got to a good spot, but that's pretty good defense by Beck. Fortunate there for Father Judge. Samaj Robinson, defensive-minded substitution. Can also let it go from the arc, but you do not play, Huck, at Roman Catholic if you cannot defend on the ball.
That's one of the requirements from Coach McNesby. You have to defend, and his kids always defend. They're always, year after year, if not the best defensive team in the league, one of the best.
It's a game of runs, though. This Father Judge team is too good for this to be the story of the day. Tyler against Robinson, has a weight advantage, couldn't hit it. Jackson, good decision there to pull that back. Tyler Sutton feigns the screen, rises and couldn't hit it. That's a heck of an athletic effort, but now Father Judge can come the other way. Kennedy. Tyler for three. Beck with the tip. Robinson there. And Huck might be a little premature, but might need to go back into the annals of history to find a scoreless quarter in the boys' final.
I'm sure it's happened at one point or another, but I don't ever recall one.
Sharif Jackson hit 2 triples in last year's final, not that time. It's not the primary point of his game. Kennedy, back is blocked. Sammy Jackson. So it was Barnes, it was Sharif Jackson, and now Sammy Jackson gets in on the mix. That's a weak side. Beck never saw him. Terrific look there on the baseline. Sammy Jackson is the defensive choice against number 0, Rocco Westfield. Max Mashinsky just checked into the game. C.J. Miller picks up the personal foul. A great look baseline. Certainly looked okay up top, but officials will send Mashinsky to the line for 2. (15 of 27 on the year. And Aaron, you look at Father Judge going deep into the bench to get their first point of the night, but it was a good off-ball cut by Mashinsky.
You see Roman pressed out on the perimeter. They're going to have to figure something else out. If they can start getting those backdoor cuts and down towards the goal. That's what happened with Kennedy last time. He started getting to the line a little bit, and it kept him in the game, hung around until they started getting in more rhythm.
And you can run the opposing offense off the three-point line with impunity if you have Sammy and Sharif on the back end, able to block it at the rim. It is interesting, the extended break for Everett Barnes. Perhaps the feeling is if Kevin Beck is out there in that same position, a three-point shooter, that you start to pull Sharif Jackson away from the basket defensively, unless Roman Catholic goes to zone. A chess piece moved by Chris Rowntree. Double team comes on Sharif Jackson, and a foul is called. First team foul against Father Judge. Bear in mind, of course, the fouls reset going to the second quarter, much like the NBA model. So Father Judge has fouls with which to work. And they do give that foul at 3.7. They still would have 2 to give if they need it.
Yeah, this is a strategy that John Moskow implements over at Wood, and I'm sure Chris was a proponent of it when he was there. And he puts a couple deep subs in the game, not to waste fouls on starters.
Given away, and a foul is called with 2.8. So Father Judge will get the basketball. Rakai Mason, the next in the great Father Judge guard lineage, checked into the game momentarily. He'll come off the floor.
Yeah, with that strategy, important to note, if you don't commit fouls throughout the quarter, you have that in play. But if you've committed fouls all quarter, you don't get to close out a period in that way.
Beck can get a good look at it at the horn. Well defended by Sharif Jackson. End of one here at the Palestra. Roman Catholic 10, Father Judge 2. They've put up 180 points, did Father Judge, in the 2 quarterfinal, semifinal, the 2 playoff games combined. They're stuck with 2 after 1 quarter. Terrific sponsors here for the Philadelphia Catholic League. Want to first thank Blocks. We heard from Rob Delaney in the first game, the CEO. Blocks can help turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships for your school while earning you a 90% Pennsylvania tax credit. Learn more at blocks.org/tax credits. Philadelphia Catholic League is also excited to announce it has partnered with Sports Specialties to provide championship gear and great PCL apparel with a new online store. Go to PCL25.itemorder.com to get your PCL championship gear. That's PCL25.itemorder.com. And Petrosky Physio is a proud sponsor of the Philadelphia Catholic League. Physical therapy for high school and college athletes and beyond. We appreciate their sponsorship of the Catholic League each of the last 2 years. Roman Catholic was dominant in the first quarter. Sharif Jackson, that was his first bucket of the night. And then he got it going on the defensive end with a big block there. A steal there by Tyler Sutton, and Sutton really hasn't even gotten going all that much here tonight. He's the engineer and the conductor for this Roman Catholic team, Huck.
Yes, well, he hit the 3, and he did have that drive there, so he has half their points, and he's been very influential down at the defensive end. I think if you told Chris Rowntree and his staff that they would hold Roman to 10 points in the first half, they would have taken that. First quarter, they would have taken that every single time.
Kevar Kennedy, that is unbelievable defense. You talk about getting in legal guarding position there, Aaron, and step for step with Kennedy. What a play by Edwards.
Defender's entitled to that spot. The offensive player is trying to force his way through. Great defensive effort.
Kevar Kennedy shoots it at a high percentage, just not all that much on the volume side. And that's what this Roman Catholic team does. Not to belabor it, Aaron, but you got Everett Barnes taking multiple shot attempts. Kevar Kennedy can't get to the lane. He's got to shoot threes. They take you out of your game. Forcing the issue, contact, blocking foul, count it, and 1. And finally, this Father Judge crowd is able to explode. Chris McNesby doesn't like the call. What do you see here, Aaron?
Yeah, it's harder to see from the sideline where Chris is looking. That defender tries to get into position, slides over a little bit late as the player goes airborne.
And Aaron, you've taught us this over the year. You need both feet down facing the defender to get into legal guarding position. He didn't do that before the time that Kavar Kennedy went into his upward shooting motion.
Yeah, for high school, it's by the time he leaves the floor. That's a bang-bang play.
And in college, it's by the time that plant foot gets into that shooting motion,
Correct.
which is why you see more blocks in college and more charges in high school.
Exactly. And the arc is on the floor here at Penn, but the restricted area is not in play for the high school game.
Step back three for Sutton. Tyler Sutton has 2 triples. The young sophomore in his first year in the Philadelphia Catholic League knew he wanted this experience. Good close out there by Sammy Jackson, made that shot very difficult. C.J. Miller attacks, and a late whistle. A blocking foul is called against Nazir Tyler. C.J. Miller recognized that Tyler wasn't in that legal guarding position, and boy did he attack the rim there, Aaron.
Yeah, and the defender's legal in that play, but as he goes up, I don't think he gets to the height of the ball and makes contact with the shooter's forearm. That was the call on that play.
And we're going to get Dan Hoban, the public address announcer, to say that those lights on the back of the cell phones are not allowed. It started a couple of years ago. They had to stop the game last year.
Cell phone lighting is not permitted. Please turn the cell phones off, or else a technical foul may be assessed.
Yeah, no artificial noisemakers. And in this case, it could be something with light. That would be an administrative technical foul if it continues, but obviously we're going to warn that first.
Well, there's 1, there's 2, and they might need to work on that over the course of the afternoon.
It might be hard to contain that bunch back there.
A technical foul might do it, Huck.
It's exactly right. I would hate to see that.
Kennedy. Derek Morton Rivera. The floater won't go. Got the offensive rebound. That one was blocked. Pulled down by Barnes, and then Sharif Jackson just rips it out of his hand. Kavar Kennedy just jumped to the moon to get that basketball and leads to a bucket.
That's what Judge wants to do. They want to get up and down. They want to get some easy looks. You know, a kid who played great the other night, Rocco Westfield, I don't think he's attempted a shot yet. He made 6 threes the other night. I'd like to see him get on track a little bit, get him a run a play for him possibly.
Well, he's giving up 6 inches to Sammy Jackson, and that was a terrific decision by Chris Rowntree. Tyler Sutton fading into that Father Judge bench. Edwards picks up the personal foul.
Sutton with 3 threes already. He is seizing the moment right now. He can be sensational a lot of nights on both ends of the court.
I think he had a foot on the line here, or
No,
not?
that's a 3, but it's listed on the board as a long 2. That replay was clear as day. And that one's last touched. Aaron, I saw you off camera there trying to adjudicate. What do we have here on that last shot? That should be, it was 15-7, yes?
Correct. I saw the official rule. He had a foot on the line.
Okay.
And that's something they've added as reviewable, but that's just a live.
They have added that as reviewable?
Well, not at the high school level.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, it's for plays like that because it's so hard to see sometimes if the foot's on the line or not.
Rocco Westfield didn't get going on that one. Mashinsky is there. And that's the second straight possession where they've had an offensive rebound. Timeout called by Roman Catholic before that home run pass. And Chris McNesby is having that discussion on the floor right now about that three-point shot on the other end. Got to be really challenging. Remember, we're playing from the white line here at Penn, not the blue line. That's the Purple Army right there, the Roman Catholic student section, as we look inside that huddle. Get another look, Lear, and again, we have this look. The officials do not, but just elite athleticism and very clearly behind the line. Tyler Sutton would have been his third triple of the night, ruled a 2, and it's 17-7. But 3 or 2, Huck, that is a shot that most high school players, most high school sophomores are not going to make.
You're right, Bob, and that's why he's rated one of the top 25 sophomores in the country, because he can do things like that.
Just to be clear, that has to be corrected within a correctable error window. There is a statute of limitations on that versus a book error or, administratively something was missed. In this case, the official ruled a 2-pointer, and at this point, we're moving on with that.
Sutton kicks out from Miller. He can knock this down. Didn't do it that time. Not the most proficient aspect of his game. It's not even the most proficient aspect of Roman Catholic's game as a whole, shooting it at a clip above 28% this year. Moshinsky, those long arms. There's Barnes, and 3 consecutive possessions, putting the ball on the rim, Huck, and getting an offensive rebound.
Yeah, Moshinsky's very athletic. He can really get up to the box, and he drew Sharif over there towards him, and then Everett Barnes had the easy cleanup.
It also takes the aggressiveness of the shot blocker, Sharif Jackson, a little bit off the table, understanding that you need weak side help on the glass. Sutton, good defense there by Westfield. A deep college range 3. Tipped forward by Kennedy and poked away from behind.
Everything is contested. Kennedy is surrounded by Cahill lights, and it's been since the tap.
Find me this athleticism anywhere else in the state of Pennsylvania. Thirty-second timeout on the floor here. And this portion of today's game is brought to you by a new sponsor to the Philadelphia Catholic League, Flip Out. Flip Out is a gymnastics organization where you all know it's Philadelphia's hottest spot to learn all your flips and tricks. Flip Out, proud sponsor of the Catholic League. So it was 10-0 Roman Catholic. An 11-7 run by Father Judge puts them within striking distance. Into the flow of the game, but nothing has been easy. Good place for a double team, but they decide not to. Moshinsky playing off 2 feet. Beautiful. He's got 4 points, and he directly led to the preceding basket by Father Judge by getting into the lane.
Yeah, he could be a spark off the bench for them. He suffered an injury in the middle of the year, so he missed a few games. Prior to that, though, he was starting earlier in the year, so he's quite capable of getting involved here.
Sutton not that time. C.J. Miller first on the floor. What a play by Sharif Jackson. Sammy Jackson is fouled by Nazir Tyler.
The effort here is tremendous. Everybody's going really hard, hitting the floor, multiple players at one time. Judge has done well to get back in the game here, though. And their defense has been really good, too.
Sammy Jackson after attacking the rim. Just a hair short on the first. We mentioned Moshinsky. He's got the 6 points in addition to that drive to the basket that directly led to the Barnes 2. What a spark plug off the bench he has been. Class of 2026, a junior. 1 of 2 for Sammy Jackson. Seven rebounds for Sharif Jackson, by the way, early on in this contest, to go along with that blocked shot. Good switch that time by Roman Catholic. And now it's Tyler on Rocco Westfield. More of a catch and shoot type of guy. Maybe not as comfortable going with his back to the basket. Derek Morton Rivera. Length on length, good on good.
I like seeing him do that. He didn't settle for the contested three, put the ball on the floor, got with his left hand right up to the box there, laid it in nicely.
Aaron, if you have to respect the drive, you can be a little later, a little slower on the closeout going forward. That's what he really needs.
That's been the key to them getting back in the game, is beating the perimeter defenders. And even if they don't score, they've pulled Jackson away for the rebounding action.
A rare mistake by the senior Sharif Jackson.
You rarely see him catch the ball on the wing there. It's usually at top of the key, and then he funnels his way down to the paint, to the post.
Kevin Beck checked back into the game. Again, brings a completely different perspective than Everett Barnes. He can take you off the bounce. He can hit it from the mid-range. A terrific three-point shooter as well.
Great job by him there. I mean, he's bided his time over 4 years, a 4-year player. You know, he's seventh man here, and he accepts his role, and he does a great job within his role.
Sutton is fouled by Rocco Westfield, just the third team foul against Father Judge. Still one to give. And that is just the first personal against Rocco Westfield. Baseline drive, help defense there against Sharif Jackson. And numbers, and a foul is going to stop the break.
A good substitution there by Coach Roundtree. He inserted back into the game, and it's paid all dividends on both sides of the court here. With a nice little fading jump shot, and then really contested Sharif there on that drive.
Third team foul against Roman Catholic, both teams with one to give. Good double team on the other end as well by Mashinsky to pick up baseline. It was 10-0 Roman Catholic. Didn't look like Father Judge was going to score in the first quarter. They've put up 15 points here in the second. Contact, and he'll go to the line. Biding his time there, Aaron. Not throwing the off arm, but using his physicality and strength to get into the lane against Edwards.
Yeah, they call that the handle, Bob. Got it on a string, able to take the contact, and goes up through the non-vertical defender.
Jimmy Stinsman from St. Joe's Prep, an administrator here, he's getting his shuttle runs in as he comes to the baseline and implores the student section to turn off the cameras. Years ago, Huck, it would have been lighters up there and we would have had a different set of issues.
Thank God we don't have it anymore.
Kennedy on the year, a 77% foul shooter. If it wasn't Jordan Ellerby this year, this guy would have been front and center as the probable MVP.
Struggled from the line the other night, Bob, in that decisive win over St. Joe's Prep. It didn't really matter. It was the one chink in their armor, though. They were 7 for 16 from the foul line.
He also gets to the line more than any other Father Judge Crusader.
Yeah, he's gotten there over 130 times this year.
You can boo if you want. I think this still would have been within a 30-second shot clock, this possession here for Roman Catholic. And a foul is called. 1 to give, and they gave it right there. 3.5 seconds to play. And a Father Judge Crusader fan is particularly incensed about that foul call. Aaron, as official, you have to laugh a little bit at that one because that's Father Judge giving the foul there.
The coach was telling the official to foul. And we have a saying, if they give a foul, we give them the foul.
Jackson is double teamed. Kick out. And that's great defense by Rakai Mason. Didn't get the shot off. Mason has come on in a defensive role at the end of the first and the end of the second quarter. Huck, he impacted the game in a positive way both times out.
Yes, he's been in their rotation all year. He's been in their top 8. He's very athletic, gets his hands on a lot of passes. He's a creator too. He can create. Next year he's going to step into a bigger role. He did his job there though.
Halftime at the Palestra. The race to 20, well, we'll find out who wins it in the third quarter, I suppose. Maybe another race to 40 this year, Huck, like we saw last year.
Yeah, last year was 46-45, even with the dramatics at the end of the game.
40-40 after regulation as well. What a game we have thus far, though. Father Judge with the response, and Aaron, a quick takeaway from you.
What stands out, obviously, the athleticism on the steals, the deflections, people diving on the floor. We said it before, they're scrapping for every inch, clawing, trying to get that hubcap, as you call it, and it's all right here on the line. Fantastic effort, both sides.
Halftime, stay with us, folks. We'll have City of Basketball Love Zone, Josh Verlin, to break down the first half in just a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, at Fox, we hope to turn your VA state tax liability.
Bob Long here, back on the court at halftime, and we have a special guest with us, Josh Verlin, City of Basketball Love founder, one of the great sources for basketball knowledge, content, and coverage in Philadelphia. So before we start, thanks for everything that you do for the basketball community.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you for everything you do for the basketball community. I cannot tell you how often I am sitting at home watching a Bob Long stream of a game, so thank you as well.
My pleasure. It's been fun. So let's break down this contest here. 10-0 Roman Catholic to start things. Father Judge finally gets on the board, and then they score 15 in the second quarter to get right back into this contest. What has stood out to you about this boys' final?
I mean, not that it's a surprise, but just the intensity of this game, right? I mean, you got two programs. Roman, the proudest one in the Catholic League with more than 30 titles to its name. Father Judge hasn't been here in 27 years. And I think it's just the want of both sides. The intensity level is as high as we've ever seen for a Catholic League game. And that explains the score and the shooting numbers and the rebounds and all of that.
It feels every year as if you think, okay, two great offenses, and it doesn't happen for the reasons that you talked about. Everett Barnes really started things on the defensive end for Father Judge. What has his journey been like over these years at Father Judge to now a Division I commit? Yeah,
well, keep in mind, he came to Father Judge last year. He was a South Jersey kid. Was, a promising young big man in South Jersey, but certainly when he came to Judge last year, very much a project, had a long ways to go. And what you're seeing there tonight in terms of this afternoon, I should say, in terms of the strength, the understanding, the composure in the post to go up against Sharif Jackson, those are all things he's worked at so much over these last 2 years. And, I mean, Sharif's arguably the most successful, current best post player in the region, and Everett's doing a great job of limiting his effectiveness down low.
And I feel like Chris Rowntree, terrific coach for Father Judge, has brought this program, his alma mater, back to new heights. 27 years since they've been in this contest, playing with the chess piece as well. Barnes when it's needed for that interior post presence. Kevin back to pull Sharif Jackson away from the basket. What have you seen out of Chris Rowntree?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's one of the best coaches in the area. He's proven that with what he's been able to do over in his first 4 years at Father Judge. And you mentioned Kevin Beck. I love what he's done with his role players. I think Kevin Beck is another guy who's gotten noticeably better over the last 2 years, and especially this season has really given them great minutes. Max Mashinsky, another guy whose development is notable, comes in with 6 big points there to kind of get them back started. So I think what you're seeing with Chris is it's not just the X's and O's that he's good at, but it's the player development. And in the Catholic League with so much talent, that ability to bring in players, but also then develop them and get them better and get them ready for the next level is such a huge piece of this. And clearly he's doing that really well.
Let's talk about the reigning two-time champs here, Roman Catholic and Chris McNesby. We were talking about it on the broadcast. You don't get to play on the floor for Roman Catholic unless you can defend. And I think we're seeing that this afternoon.
Yeah, they've got so much length out there, and I think that's where like a C.J. Miller can really help you, because obviously we know the Jackson brothers. Sammy's doing a great job defensively as well, using his length, but C.J. Miller I think is a really effective, that fact that you can have somebody else in there who's 6'7", can guard bigs, can guard guards. I think he's been really effective for them in that role as well. And then Tyler Sutton, certainly not the most length on this team at 6'1", but just his tenacity defensively is so impressive. Got 3 steals already, and then the shot making is certainly eye-opening.
Of course, this is the championship game, and this is where it all crescendos, but it's been a long season to get to this point. What are 1 or 2 storylines that maybe don't come to the top of everyone's mind that defines this Catholic League season?
Wow. I think certainly like the Devon Prep growth and their program. I mean, just to make it to the Palestra, coming off a state championship, I think they're going to be primed for another deep run to Hershey. People have talked about it, but I think it's still one of those things just worth noting the job that Jason Fisher has done over there. And I think West Catholic's growth throughout the season was another big one as well. We're talking teams that didn't make it here to the Palestra. I think theirs has been a notable one in terms of the big picture of the league. But that's the thing with the Catholic League. There's so many teams, there's so many players, there's so many storylines. I don't even know where to begin.
It really has been a terrific season, and it wouldn't have been the same on the coverage side without this guy to my left. Josh Verlin from the City of Basketball Love. Terrific website. Make sure you follow along on social and certainly go to their website for terrific written content. What do we expect from you guys after the conclusion of this Carnival doubleheader?
We certainly have a lot of coverage coming up of the state tournaments and all that. If you don't mind, Bob, I would love to give a shout out to my staff. We have the best group of writers that we've ever had with City of Basketball Love this year. Andrew Robinson, who covered the girls' game, to David Comer, to Rich Flanagan, Joe Santiliquido, Owen McHugh, Matt Allabone. Our staff has been out there producing incredible content over this whole season, but especially the last few weeks. And I really want to make sure they get credit, because it's not just me that makes COBL what it is. And thank you to everybody who reads, supports as we conclude our 13th year here. It's pretty amazing what it's developed into.
Great. Glad you did give that shout out. Well deserved to all those guys and gals. So appreciate having you. Appreciate everyone joining us here at halftime. And before you know it, we'll have the second half going for you on the Penn Sports Network. Roman Catholic, they started out really, really strong, although that guy Everett Barnes made life difficult early. Jumped out to a 10-point lead, did Roman Catholic. Defended terrific around the basket. Got contributions from all over the floor. But Father Judge, they found their way back into the game in the second quarter. Bob Long, Aaron Hart, and Huck Palmer are with us here. And what stood out to you, Aaron, as you think about what drove the first half, but maybe more importantly, what is the key to determining a winner here in the next 16 minutes?
Points are being hard to come by. Who can get hot, really? I mean, and if you do get to the free throw line, you got to knock them down. But every point in such a tightly contested game. So to me, it's who can knock down some shots in the second half is going to win this game.
Huck Palmer, what have you seen? You've been doing this for a long time. You've seen a lot of Catholic League finals.
Yeah, Roman definitely has the pace at their advantage right now. This is how they want to play. They'll put a stranglehold on the game. An interesting stat here is Judge has not made a three-pointer yet after making 12 in the semifinals.
You can read into that however you'd like, that Roman Catholic has taken them out of their game, or that Judge has another gear. We call them the microwave for a reason. They can heat up very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's funny, as Huck just alluded to, the game's being played at Roman's pace, but Judge made a great effort to get back into the game, and now they feel like they could win this.
And the first game was played at Roman's place, and then in the fourth quarter, Judge outscored them 18-7, to secure that 4-point win.
Not that time from Kavar Kennedy. What a pass. C.J. Miller. An all-world assist from the super sophomore Tyler Sutton. Rocco Westfield thought about the three. Just doesn't have the same type of space that he had. No travel is called. They argue that that ball was deflected. Roman didn't concur. Kennedy couldn't get it over the front rim. Bodies all over the floor. Sutton might just be the best on-ball defender in the Catholic League. What a block! Stuffed that time by Everett Barnes. Sharif Jackson had good position, good in the post, sometimes good on good. Everett Barnes says, not this time.
Second half has started almost exactly like the first half.
Kennedy on a knife to the basket. It's taken off his hands cleanly by Tyler Sutton.
He's had a tough go of it today. They are all over him, making things very difficult, causing bobbles with the dribble and balls rolling out of bounds and that type of stuff.
Step back three, Morton Rivera.
Let's see if that gets him going. That's their first of the game, and that's what they don't live and die with the three, but it's a big part of their game.
Cue the pom-poms. There is not a bigger or more vocal fan section in the Philadelphia Catholic League than the grandmother and family of Derek Morton Rivera. Great footwork. Count it for Kavar Kennedy. And there's the difference. Huck playing off 2 feet. A little head fake gets the shot blocker off the floor.
Is this Judge's first lead of the game?
It is Judge's first lead of the contest. You are right. Robinson. That's good offense. And a held ball will give it to Father Judge. It's great offense there by Miller. He's going to want to finish that, Aaron, but get him moving. Doesn't have to take it off the bounce necessarily. A good back cut. That's just one hill, one back.
Yeah, the defenders have just been there altering shots all night. Starts getting in your head.
Clock issue, Aaron?
Nah, we had looked like a bottle cap of something on the floor there.
Okay.
Safety first.
That was a great job by Kennedy sneaking in there to tie up Jackson, because that was right in his office. It was probably going to be a nice little putback for him.
Looking to get the ball to Everett Barnes. Sharif Jackson. Watch this battle in there. Kavar Kennedy, not that time. He's shooting it at 48%. We talked about this in the first half, but only a little over 30 attempts this year. Three and a half minutes into this quarter, Roman scored the ball once. Sutton, tough step back three. Well defended. Miller is blocked. Put another one on the board for Everett Barnes. Tyler, step back three. Westfield. Sutton, under control.
Jackson had an open look there, but that's not really his game. And when he missed the first one earlier, I think that probably led to him, moving the ball there.
What a matchup. Tyler Sutton, Kavar Kennedy, two guys that will excel at the next level. Tyler Sutton gives Roman Catholic another lead. Timeout. Aaron, a little dip under that screen for Kavar Kennedy, and as we've seen, a number of beyond the arc and long distance shots today for Tyler Sutton. You cannot go under.
Yeah, there's certain guys, we call it KYP in the referee world, where you got to know your personnel. Certain guys, if you go under, give them a little bit of airspace, they're going to launch. And now we're seeing a couple shots fall. They're starting to believe it. I feel like that'll get the offense going. You see a couple shots falling.
Yeah, he's hit a couple perimeter shots, dribbling to his left. Right-handed shooter dribbling to his left, not the easiest of shots.
We have talked about the dichotomy of these two programs. Roman Catholic, 34 straight. I'm sorry, not 34 straight. That would be impressive, Huck. 34 total, 2 straight Philadelphia Catholic League championships. Father Judge has not won the championship since 1998. Last time they were here was 1999. And we've talked a little bit about the number 27 and why it's so special at Father Judge. There's a memorial honoring the 27 men and alumni that were killed in the Vietnam War. It bleeds through every aspect of their program. The best player, the senior leader in most sports wears that number. Of course, in basketball, you cannot have a number that ends in more than 5. And so perhaps this is another way to honor them. Can they win a title 27 years after winning their last? With an alum, Chris Rowntree, at the helm. He was on that 1998 and 1999 team at the Palestra. And in those championship games, Roman switches up the defense. Into the zone they go. Knew he would see it at some point from Chris McNesby. And how does Father Judge deal with this? Get it to the baseline, that's how. And it's really hard to defensive rebound out of his own. Father Judge takes advantage.
Yeah, Tyler had an advantage there over Robinson. He just went right up and snatched that and had the easy putback.
And you see the coach take a timeout after a made basket. We talk often about they're going to do something different.
Kevar Kennedy, that time he did not go underneath the screen, but a little bit of an overcorrection there, Aaron, as he fouls the jump shooter on a long 2. That actually was a 3, so that was behind the high school line. 3 shots coming for Sammy Jackson.
When that offensive player gathers and goes up, shift our focus, we call it the point of contact from the elbow to the wrist area. And if you make contact to that area while they're in that shooting motion, you have an illegal act.
And of course, if you didn't join us right at the top, we're hearing the voice of Aaron Hart, former Philadelphia Catholic League and high school official. He is now calling college games and various Division I conferences. We are so thrilled to have him on the final.
Thanks for having me, Bob. Pleasure to be here.
And Huck Palmer, statistician, watches every game, knows these players inside and out. No one else better than him to bring you the context and the commentary.
The judges entered at, I was about to say, judges entered Kevin Beck and Max Mojinski. They gave a spark in the first half. It was an offensive foul there on Beck.
No lip readers here on this crew, I can tell you that. Chris Rowntree didn't like the call. Aaron Hart, what did you see?
Yeah, to me, the offensive player goes to set a screen, kind of thought better of it and turned, and the impetus is going to be on him to not be moving, making contact with the defender.
And Beck has picked up 2 personal fouls in the span of 10 seconds of action.
And I know he had one earlier when he took the foul at the end of the quarter. There's at least 3 on him.
Everett Barnes, a late substitute to the scorer's table. They'll give it to him. How quickly things can change, Aaron, for a player playing free with the 1 personal foul. And now has the 3 late in the 3rd quarter. Offensive foul is called against Sharif Jackson. I'm going to borrow your term here, Aaron, closed window. We didn't have that off arm, didn't have a chance to see it. The baseline cam is going to be really good for this one.
Yeah, you see Barnes moving his feet, gets into the path. Jackson goes to and through, takes his space on the floor. And correct call on the offensive foul.
Kevar Kennedy. Morton Rivera, quick trigger. Mashinsky all in one motion. That's going to be a shooting foul called against Roman Catholic.
These plays being made by Mojinski are really large. In a game that's 25-24, under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Every little play that he makes he's really making a contribution here for the Crusaders.
C.J. Miller picks up the personal foul. Moshinsky had only attempted 27 field free throws coming into the postseason. He made 15 of them.
I believe he's their leading scorer right now with 7 points. For a team that had 5 starters in double figures the other night.
4 lead changes, including that most recent one on the Mashinsky free throw. And those lead changes have all come within the last 4 minutes. Sutton, that's awesome defense there. And a timeout called by Chris McNesby. That's right in front of us. Kennedy did an excellent job of letting Sutton go to the ground on his own, Aaron, not fouling him there. And then you got to be some kind of athlete to swivel through somebody's legs and get rid of the ball. Some things you cannot teach, even Chris McNesby. One more look, Aaron. What are you seeing here in live time?
That's just absolute textbook defense. Doesn't keep the hands on, showing his hands, moving his feet. Josh Verlin's sending me stats over here. I think we're up to 6 offensive rebounds by Father Judge, and that's gotten them extra possessions, which are so key to this game.
Scoring opportunities have been few and far between, to say the least. I mean, there's opportunities, but clean looks and, you know, playing the type of offense you're used to playing, it just hasn't been there.
Scoring here tonight, Tyler Sutton with 13, Sammy Jackson with 6, C.J. Miller with 4, Sharif just the 2 points. That was the first 2 points of the game. Mashinsky has those 8, Kennedy with 5, Derek Morton Rivera with 5. Sharif Jackson. It's good collapse defensively there. I think you'll take your chances with Samaj Robinson if you're Father Judge, but you cannot let Sharif Jackson beat you. Wild pass there, and it will be Father Judge basketball.
I think that was a good call.
And this is the thing with Sutton, and he's really avoided this in the last few weeks of the season. Leaving your feet to pass the basketball. We talk about all the time playing off 2 feet there. And that's a hope and a prayer, Aaron, when you leave the floor and try to get rid of the basketball there.
That's playing right into the defense's hands.
Does Father Judge hold for 1? No shot clock at the high school level.
Each team 1 foul to give up.
Samaj Robinson trying to push some pressure, and Kavar Kennedy is creating that space to stop those 5-second counts. It's a lot asked of this official right in front of us here, Aaron.
Yeah, it's 5 feet based off of the torso or the foot, not the hand that's being reached out, by the way.
Kennedy has done the job. Now under 10. Kavar Kennedy, back cut, up and under for Morton Rivera. And Judge takes a 3-point lead. It is their largest of the afternoon to the third quarter break. 28-25, what a contest. Huck, a quick thought on what turned the table in that third quarter.
Well, it's been very defensive by both teams. Judges, they executed that last possession magnificently. Kennedy kept the ball out front here, got into the lane, made a nice pass. You know, they defended the shot by Rivera, but he went up and under, and put it in. And, you know, 3-point lead don't seem like much, but in this game, it is.
Some terrific sponsors bring you the action here this afternoon. Thanks to Blocks, where they help turn your Pennsylvania state tax liability into need-based scholarships for your school while earning a 90% PA tax credit. Learn more at blocks.org/tax credits. Sports Specialty is also a big sponsor here this afternoon. The Catholic League has partnered with Sports Specialties to provide championship gear and great PCL apparel with a new online store. The store can be accessed through the QR code below. Petrosky Physio, second-year sponsor of the Philadelphia Catholic League, provided much-needed physical therapy and other services to high school and college athletes in the Philadelphia area and beyond. And finally, our partners at Flip Out. Flip Out is Philly's hottest spot to learn all your flips and tricks. I'm not a gymnast myself, but in solidarity, I might have to go over there and see what I can do. I'm not sure it's going to work out very well, guys. I may not see you here next year if I do one of those pirouettes, but thanks to Flip Out. Father Judge outscored Roman Catholic 11-7 in that third quarter. Largest lead for the Crusaders. Sammy Jackson a little short and maybe a hair flat on that three-point shot. Sebastian Edwards, a four-year player, started as a freshman, moved up to JV and then varsity the last 2 years. The blocking foul is called against Father Judge as C.J. Miller tried to get to the other side of the rim.
These first 4 minutes will tell us a lot on how this game is going to end. Is it just going to be nip and tuck for the entire way, or is one of the teams going to impose their will and try to get a little bit of a lead? What I mean by a little bit of a lead is 6, 7, 8 points.
C.J. Miller missed the first, came into the year shooting 56% on 39 attempts. Favorite story about C.J. Miller, he scored a touchdown in the PIAA state championship game for football, and the very next day had a double-double in his first game for the basketball team. That was December 2024. You can't make that up, Aaron.
Speaks to the athleticism, the heart.
2-point lead for Father Judge. It's good defense there, by the way, on the backside by C.J. Miller. Moshinsky was cutting off the ball. Sharif Jackson picks up the personal foul. First team foul here in the fourth quarter against the Kaolites. Third personal foul against Sharif Jackson. I don't think he's going anywhere, Huck.
No, he's got to make sure you don't pick up that fourth, though, in the next minute or two, because then you get into a situation where you might have to pull him out of the game.
There's the lob for Everett Barnes, so they go right at him. Tyler Sutton picks up the personal foul that time on the reach.
Good job by Judge getting the ball down low. They're a big guy there to try to force that fourth foul on Jackson. He did force the double team, and Sutton committed the foul.
Sharif Jackson, Sammy Jackson, both sons of the Philly great Mark Jackson, who had a terrific college and NBA career, of course was a standout at Roman Catholic, moved back to the Philadelphia area after his career ended to send his sons here. And a foul is called, and if that's against Sutton, that's the second consecutive on him. Miller was also in the area, and I think that's the right adjudication there, Aaron. That was on the slap down by Sutton. His third.
Yeah, the big little matchups pose a problem. Usually the smaller defender on a bigger player, they have to do something illegal to maintain position.
Could we be headed for another classic? 2 years ago, a banked three at the buzzer sent us to overtime between Roman Catholic and Newman Goretti. And then last year, 2 shots made in the final 6 seconds decided that one in Roman Catholic's favor. Good check out by Sharif Jackson underneath the basket.
good shot there, but someone contested it and made him adjust in the air with the shooting, and that's why it fell off to the right there.
And as you're gliding towards the hoop, kind of direct or just off, direct on, it can be challenging to get that depth perception right. Sharif Jackson, is he going to take Everett Barnes himself? Miller caught it, but more of a safety valve than anything. Sutton, he's hit some big shots here this afternoon.
Bob, we've already gotten to the point where every possession is magnified. And this is why you see a deliberate style right now, looking for a really good shot.
I don't know if that is the really good shot. Sharif Jackson is 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. He hit 2 in this game last year. Kevar Kennedy hit and will shoot 2. So Roman Catholic deliberate, and it ends with a Sharif Jackson 3 from college range, Aaron. And Father Judge, what do? Take the basketball down the floor quickly before the defense can get set.
And that's 4 fouls on Roman now, which could loom large as we proceed here in the fourth quarter.
And what did we say earlier? You get to the line, you got to knock them down. That'll be key.
Kennedy normally does. Missed 2 earlier in the contest.
I can't remember a single possession or shot that wasn't contested or tough in this game. I mean, both sides.
One of 2.
And we stay at a 1-possession game.
Sold out since Thursday at 1. We found out who would participate in the finals on Wednesday night at 9:30. Foul called on the play. Sutton slow to get up.
I don't think they called a foul there. I think you just said he got knocked out of bounds. It's Roman's ball underneath. No official went to the scoreboard. The score table.
It just deflected out of bounds.
This community loves basketball. Sharif Jackson caught it in a good spot, but look at the 4 guys collapse. This is how you have to beat them if you're Roman Catholic. Collapse floor, kick it to a 3-point shooter. Four threes for Tyler Sutton, including, we'll make that a 5th, would have been the long 2. So 4 threes and a long 2 for Tyler Sutton. We are tied again.
He has 16 of the 29 points.
Kennedy, wild shot. And Jackson comes up with it. It was saved inbounds momentarily. Sutton up and under, yes! A highlight reel moment for Tyler Sutton, the sophomore. He told us after a regular season game, Westfield!
Now that was a bomb.
NBA range.
And then some.
A 5th lead change.
You can feel it developing, Bob.
Sutton told us after a regular season game, this is why he came to the Philadelphia Catholic League. Contact, he'll shoot 2, draws the contact, forces the issue, Aaron, and puts the officials in a spot to make a call there.
His effort, he's reminding me of like Steph Curry or something off the ball just to get up to the top of the key. And he's got his defender chasing, help defenders late. He earns a couple shots at the free throw line.
You want a high-level guard to come play for you in 3 years? Turn on some Roman Catholic tape. Tyler Sutton is your guy. Although I'll tell you something, Huck, I don't think I'm revealing any secrets. I think the secret is out on this young man.
Without a doubt, Bob.
And Aaron, you called the first game in the regular season between these two teams. Could you speak to the growth that you've seen in Tyler Sutton since that night?
I mean, he stood out at that point, but now he feels like he can put the team on his back. I mean, he's got so much energy. He's making great plays. He's playing to the crowd. It's a stage for him, and he's a star. He's shining bright.
Westfield to the bucket. Missed it. It's a good look, but it's not the look that he often gets going to the basket, Huck.
No, I thought he was going to make that. He looked like he just left it a little short. Maybe thinking a shot blocker was coming his way. And he made that face on his way down like he knew he missed out on an opportunity there.
For the second year in a row, Huck, we have a race to 40. Wild shot. I like the no call. Roman recovers. Good move by Sebastian Edwards. Edwards, Sammy Jackson. Not that time. And Barnes is fouled. Foul shot time for Father Judge. 15th foul against Roman Catholic.
The foul situation could play a big part here. Judge only has 2 team fouls.
And that's one thing that I'd love to see Sammy Jackson work on a bit in the offseason, Huck, is a little bit more arc on that 3. Shot comes off a little flat, and it's got to be perfect. He does it a lot. Why? Because he's just that talented. I know there's so much more in the tank for this young man.
Yeah, he's got good range, too. He definitely has to get a little bit more arc on that. When his shots are falling short, I mean, obviously they're flat. Sometimes he line drives them in.
Everett Barnes, 72% from the line this year.
He started really, he was above 80 there for probably half the year. It's been starting to sink over recent weeks.
Tie ball game. Aaron, what Roman Catholic has done so well in recent possessions is the offense, like the bench gets short. I'll tell you what, the 5 on the floor gets a little short. It's basically Sharif, Sammy, or Tyler Sutton. And unless it's a layup, I don't think you necessarily see anyone else take a look at this point. You saw Sebastian Edwards give up a look to create a better 3-point opportunity for Sammy Jackson. It came up short. But I think you're looking at 3 options here offensively unless you have a layup with the other 2.
Yeah, it looks like wash, rinse, repeat on the offensive end. They keep running the same type of action. And Coach McNesby's happy to see his guy with the ball in his hands.
That's short. Father Judge basketball. Derek Morton Rivera.
Did a great job of shielding the defender there, getting out in front of him, finishing with the left hand.
1:23 to go, timeout. All of the Northeast rises here at the Palestra.
Terrific look by Tyler, too, off the loose ball there, off the rebound, and hit him right in stride. No wasted energy there on his way to the basket.
There have been 2 consecutive 3-point attempts by Roman Catholic. Short lead to long rebounds. Judge doing a great job tracking those down. This one leads to maybe the first easy basket of the game, if you could call it that.
There have been a couple putbacks off of this. I know Tyler had one earlier, but that was on a half-court set. But out transition baskets for sure.
You look inside this huddle. That's Brad Wanamaker on the right. Roman Catholic great. University of Pittsburgh great. Back in those Jamie Dixon years, returning to his alma mater to assist Chris McNesby. Back for his second stint. He's won 4 Catholic League championships, including 2 consecutive on 2 different occasions. 1 in each of those 2 stints. And that's the Father Judge huddle. Chris Rowntree looking for his first title as a coach. And I think the focus as you look back inside the Roman Catholic huddle is I think the first three that we talked about in recent possessions by Sammy Jackson, yes, it's short, but that's a look you'll take. You live and die with that one, Huck. A step back three by Tyler Sutton. Can he make it? He sure can. But you have to find your way to a better high percentage look.
Yeah, a little bit of a heat check there for him because he had some good moments prior to that. I would have to think that Roman's going to try to play inside out here. If it's going to be a perimeter shot, it's going to come off a pass from Jackson from the post. And if not, he's just going to probably pull his way to the basket. Maybe draw a foul.
Judge has a couple fouls to give. I was going to say they're going to be aggressive off the ball and trying to upset the timing of the ball handlers.
His second, team third.
Just one more to give now. That's the third team foul.
Yeah, I think Judge probably would prefer to have that foul in their back pocket still.
Good defense on the ball. Sebastian Edwards is fouled, shooting a two. Breaking all the tendencies. I didn't see Edwards shooting a bucket, certainly not a step back. And Morton Rivera certainly didn't go under the screen, but a second time in this half where a foul shooter or jump shooter has been fouled, Aaron.
I know if
there's a miss here, Judge needs to get the rebound here, and then he can probably pull the ball out with under a minute and hope to draw a foul.
The 85% foul shooter goes 1 for 2. Sebastian Edwards, I think this is the right call, Aaron. We've seen this. I'm going to go 1985 on you here, where Georgetown Hoyas pulled down Ed Pinckney in an effort to induce a foul call against Pinckney. The officials got it right on April 1st, 1985. Watch this grab here. Well, maybe it wasn't the grab in the same way it was in 85, but what do you see there?
He gets tripped up on the screen. What the official saying is he was fouled first. Tough play.
I love that Bob went back 40 years there to pull out the example. That's great. That's Villanova knowledge right there.
It's probably in your casebook somewhere, huh, Aaron?
It's definitely in there.
Timeout on the floor. 56.9 fateful seconds remain.
Gymnastics Academy for the football fireworks. Philly's hotspot for all your flips and tricks. Check us out on Instagram at Spell Productions.
Of note, Roman Catholic has taken their last timeout of the half. And so what does that mean? Certainly it means they can't stop the clock again. Why is it important? It's important because in a game that you are trailing, it's important to have timeouts in your back pocket. In the high school rules, after made baskets in the run of play, the clock does not stop. And so we saw this last year, Huck, very similar situation when Archbishop Ryan led the game at the time, and Roman Catholic took their last time out trailing to set up a final play. What they thought was a final play ended up being the third last play of the game, and got Sharif Jackson rolling to the basket for an easy layup to then take the lead. Had that missed, they would have been in a world of trouble with very little time on the clock. And so something to keep in mind as Father Judge has a foul shot to make this a 3-point game.
Well, what'll be interesting here, if Kennedy knocks down the second foul shot and gives him a 3-point lead, how will Roman play offense? I mean, with just under 57 seconds left, I would try to get a quick two for sure. Maybe not even super quick, but try to get a two and then play the foul shooting game after that.
Plenty of time for a quick two, and then with the on-ball defense, try to coerce a steal initially. Kavar Kennedy has been waiting his entire high school career for this. Didn't touch the rim on either of those. Dialed in. And it should be 37-34. The big board here went to 38, and now here we go. Inside they go. Loose ball. They don't have a timeout. Possession arrow is going Father Judge's way. Edwards could not call timeout.
And in a hectic moment like that, sometimes you worry that they may signal for a timeout. In a moment of panic, he didn't, to his credit.
I won't go back 40 years, but we all remember Chris Webber and the Fab Five at Michigan. By the way, there was a Fab Five in Philadelphia basketball years ago as well, and it involves the father of Sammy and Sharif Jackson. Mark Jackson was part of that Philly Fab Five. Rasheed Wallace, Jason Lawson, and Alvin Williams, both of the Villanova Wildcats, by the way. Tyrone Weeks, and then, of course, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson won back-to-back Philadelphia Catholic League titles. Roman, at their height, had won 6 consecutive Catholic League titles. A third here for Sammy and Sharif would put them ahead of Dad at the Thanksgiving dinner table. But they got a long way to go, and Father Judge is looking to win their first in 27 years. So Aaron Hart is with us here, former high school official, now a high-level college official, giving back to the high school game, still here with us. Take us from 10-0 Roman Catholic to 37-34 Father Judge.
Well, it's been a grind, but they've kept with it. I think they got downhill a lot more. They still haven't really lit it up from the three-point line, but getting inside, getting to the free throw line, and then knocking down the free throws, to me that was really the key to the second half. And now with 37.4 to go, you make your free throws, it's going to be hard for Roman Catholic to come back from this three-point deficit.
And if you're looking at a foul somewhere, when they got back in the game, Tyler was 54% coming into the game. Westfield, Kennedy, Rivera are all pretty good foul shooters.
Double team in a tough spot. Foul is called. Kennedy to the line for 2. The initial whistle came from in front of the Roman Catholic bench. Both officials then, one on the near side, had it as well, Aaron.
And one thing to add about Judge coming back, we alluded to it before. They were down before, 10, 12 points, even later in the game. You got to think that they believed they're not out of this.
And you're talking about the first matchup between these two
Correct.
teams in the regular season, a late January affair.
This kid has thrived at this his entire career. Icing games at the end. Gets to the line a lot, and last year we had a great stat. He was like 87% in fourth quarters from the foul line.
He missed 2 in the first half. He's been perfect since then. Five-point lead, largest for Father Judge. Sammy Jackson. Edwards for 3. Father Judge basketball. A quick one, a deep one, and it came flat off his hands.
Yeah.
Tyler is fouled with 24 seconds left. And rearing its head as well is the fact that Father Judge has a chance to make this a 3-possession game with 24 seconds left and 0 timeouts for Roman Catholic. 0 ability to stop the clock after a made basket.
Judge has a lot of offensive ability, a lot of offensive talent. But tonight, so far, I mean, in this game, they showed that they can win a rock fight. And they're kind of beating Roman at their own game.
Stay with us post-game as we will have all the action for you, including the trophy ceremony, net cutting, And we'll have a post-game interview with the players of the game and the winning head coach. 3 possessions. Has to be a 3, you would think, for Roman Catholic. Sharif Jackson will let it fly. Kennedy pulls it down. And they just need to get it across half court. Tyler is fouled.
Might have something brewing in the student section.
27 years. There's not one person in that student section alive the last time Father Judge won a title. 27 years to honor the 27 graduates that died in Vietnam and is critical to the school's mission. This school has committed to athletics. It has committed to the academic side of things. And the institutional support, hiring Chris Rowntree, the proud alum, it's all come to fruition. Sammy Jackson will let it fly. Father Judge is back on top. A proud program is champion again. The 4 seed in the Philadelphia Catholic League. They lost to Archbishop Carroll leading into the last weekend of the regular season, who did not make the playoffs. And yet, Huck, they turned it around. They won a big game on the last day of the regular season, and it propelled them to a title.
Yeah, they're not your typical 4 seed. They could have just easily been a top seed this year. Dropped a couple home games to Bonner and Carroll at home, and a tough road loss to Devon Prep on the road. But you know what, in between all that, they beat Roman, they beat St. Joe's Prep in the final game in the regular seasons. They have impressive wins over Imhotep and Camden Catholic. Did really well out in California when they went out there. This is a really good basketball team, and they earned it today.
It's remarkable to see. I mean, the tradition of this game, and to show up when the lights are brightest. And this team congealed throughout the year, got better. They all bought into a role. The big man Barnes was just phenomenal. And battling down rebounds, chasing down loose balls, set the tone early, 3 block shots, and they said he brought the toughness and let the guards do their thing and put up enough points, just enough points to get the win and a championship 2025 Catholic League.
A race to 40, Aaron, just like we all thought when Father Judge scored 91 in the quarterfinals and 89 in the semis. Roman Catholic played a terrific defensive game, controlled the early part of it, but when it was 10-0, we said it right then and there. This Father Judge team is too good for this to be the way it goes for 32 minutes. That is alumnus and proud Crusader head coach Chris Rowntree, who had the hubcap in his hand. He's not going to give that up easy. It'll be a party in the Northeast tonight, I can guarantee you that. The Northeast collectively came very close last year, Huck.
I wonder if they'll be hitting Frankfurt and Cottman like it was an Eagles win. It's possible, Bob.
And Archbishop Ryan Club, arch rivals, yes, but also very close neighbors with this Father Judge club. They were beat on a buzzer beater by Cape Goss in overtime and Roman Catholic. This time it was Father Judge hitting the big shots at the end. And another look at Chris Rowntree. Equal parts thrilled and relieved, I think, Aaron.
Can only imagine. We saw some of that video go out, you know, behind the scenes, and in these kids are with the program getting rebuilt in the last couple of years, and to be part of that, you can only imagine how much it means to all of them. Exciting day here for the light blue all across the palestra.
Enjoy these images of the champion Crusaders of Father Judge here in 2025 in the vaunted Philadelphia Catholic League.